Okay, here's my review of 1968 Tunnel Rats. Now, this is just the intro, so I'm not going to give my opinion of this, but I'll pretty much say right here. This is the intro. This is a movie directed by Uwe Boll. If you don't know or Uwe or wherever the hell, but I'm going to call him Uwe. Uwe Boll, Boll, Dole, Joel's, Balls, I don't care. Yeah, so this is directed by Uwe Boll. If you don't know who he is, he made probably some of the best movies ever made. I mean, he made Godfather. He made no, he didn't. He made Alone in the Dark, the greatest video game adaptation ever fucking made. He also made Blood Rain. I don't think he made Blood Rain 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. That was a great movie altogether. Postal, which was actually, you know, decent, I guess. It was too stupid and not serious like Blood Rain and Alone in. I'm just fucking. You know what? Let me stop. Okay, Alone in the Dark is probably one of the worst movies ever fucking made, but in a hilarious way because the acting and everything is so bad that it just makes me laugh. House of the Dead is another movie, probably one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen in my life. Alone in the Dark, that doesn't even count as horror. I mean, it wasn't even scary. There was one part where you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, her face looks like it's melting. That's the only horror part of it. That's the only gore part about this. But is this movie good? Oh, Blood Rain sucked, by the way, also. And Postal was the only decent one there. I liked Postal a little bit. I gave it like a 5.5 or a 6. But is Tunnel Rats good? Now I heard this is actually a game also, but I think it was a game after the movie came out, and really I haven't seen any gameplay for that game, so yeah. So is it good? I don't know. Let's go to the story, and we'll find out. Okay, seeing that I took so long in that intro, let me just throw it out there for the story. The story is actually pretty decent. I mean, all it is a bunch of soldiers in Vietnam. They have to go and investigate pretty much these tunnels and see where they go, pretty much. These tunnels are obviously filled with Viet Cong, Vietnamese guys. I don't know what you want to else call them. Bad guys, good guys. Uh, so sometimes they are considered the good guys in this because Americans, raped their women, and there was actually one guy who was like, "I saw a girl get raped by 3 men. I'm going to do it for her." That was probably one of the cheesiest lines in the movie, even though he said it in Japanese, so it wasn't like, "I will avenge her, avenge her." Yeah. Anyway, the story is decent. I like the characters and I like the story, so yeah. Okay, now here is the acting. Now the acting was actually, I don't believe it, but Uwe Boll is not Uwe or whatever. Is not a actor's director. It's not. He's barely a director. But in this, a lot of the people give a good performance. There was one guy that just gets all emotional because, all right, I don't want to ruin a part, but there was a part when he's stuck in one of these tunnels, and I'll just say it because I want to tell you how like he's stuck because there's two dead bodies going both ways he could leave. So he wants to go this way. So what he does is he gets all emotional. He gets a knife and starts cutting his body up, and he's like crying the whole time. He see freaking mucus coming out of his freaking nose, and he's crying the whole time because he didn't see a dead body before. Well, he saw a dead body. He just never really fucking gutted one. So yeah, it's an emotional thing. The ending I think is it's a bad ending. Some of the guys die fucking for no reason, just to show some gore. I mean, this is a pretty fucking bloody movie. Also, this guy that gets pretty much sawed in half by bullets, and I mean, it's not like Rambo where you see like a quick second and he just gets sawed off. You see like guts pouring out of him and shit. There's a lot of bloody moments in this movie. So yeah, the acting is definitely good. And let's get on to the fucking violence, which I was talking about right now. Okay, now the violence in this, the reason I'm not going to say action is because it's a war movie, but still, it doesn't have that much action. There's one big action piece, and most of it's in tunnels, so obviously all it's going to be is like maybe a close quarters gunfight where they can't really move anywhere, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool thing to think of. Like if you're in a big, long, narrow tunnel and there's a guy, you're going to shoot each other to death. Now there is some special effects in this also with the blood. You can obviously tell it's fake. There's one guy that got shot and like little sprays of blood just went everywhere. You didn't even see bullet holes. You just see, oh, I'm dead. But obviously this was on a short budget because Uwe Boll doesn't get much money anymore for these movies. His largest one was freaking the Dungeon Siege movie, and that movie. You know what? I'm a fan of that movie because it's so fucking horrible. It's awesome, but yeah, I can definitely tell why people hate it. Yeah. Anyway, the violence in this movie is very fucking good. I mean, there's people getting sawed in half, even though it's CGI blood most of the time, it's still kind of nasty. There's a guy that gets pretty much skewered in the neck, which is pretty violent. There's a guy that gets his neck broken by, like, he gets hung, but his neck doesn't just break like, and that's it. He's just hanging there. No, his fucking head pretty much snaps off, and you see his spot. I don't want to ruin it. It's very violent. So overall, I like this movie. Finally, a Uwe Boll movie I liked, and it's sad because this is a straight to DVD movie. I know, right? I mean, I know this went to freaking it came out in Germany where he lives. Obviously, Uwe Boll is German. I think so. I'm not really a Uwe Boll fanatic, so I'm not really gonna check that out. This also movie been getting bad reviews, but I have to say I like it. I do. I do like it a lot. It's his best movie so far, even though I fucking love Dungeon Siege and it's hilarious. And I kind of like Postal. It's kind of good. But yeah, this movie is pretty freaking good. I'll be honest. It is pretty good. Overall, I have to give it 8 out of 10. I really liked it. And some people hate it because it's because it's Uwe Boll. This is a straight to DVD movie, people. And it's on a low budget. I think maybe if a $25 million budget. Maybe. I doubt it, but maybe. Maybe a $25 $25 budget. No, $25 million budget. So yeah. Anyway, thank you and bye. An 8 out of 10 payball. Go rent it. Oh, and by the way, I just searched it up. The budget is only $8 million.